Oh. So yeah. Anyway, I feel the alienation is just because, and I don't mean I feel like alienated. I'm just saying there's a bit of a disconnection always there because I know that most people's awareness, they think they live in a very solid world, and everything's pretty much the way it seems to be, in the mass media, in the papers, and the TV, and so on and so on. When in reality, and I'm not saying that that doesn't exist. The world, the world is material. There is most of what's said in the papers, is by and large what's going on. Yes, there's a war going on here, this and that. But when you dig below the surface, even a little bit, like it doesn't have to be too far. If you just go, well, wait a minute, let's fact check this a little, or just dig a little, or look for some alternate perspectives on anything. And I find it's like it's the wormhole. You find out, oh gee, this stuff about corporate corruption or the connection between governments and big business and everything. It's like, wow, it's like really blatant and it's everywhere and it's real. Okay, and anyway, you look into all these different things, and just to summarize, uh, the world is actually a lot more. It's right on the path to being cyberpunk 2020. All the governments of the world are pretty much. It's not one big conspiracy controlled by one guy, or even a small. Well, it is a fairly small group of guys, but it's because it's not like that. It's not like the world is it's like saying like that is like people thinking like trees, and there's one tree and then every tree is an equal distance from that tree, and again it's monolithic. It's too simple. But what I'm saying is most people think the world is it's fairly much just the way the common view. Just governments are mostly run by well-meaning civil servants, and well, that which is again that's mostly true as well. But anyway, the truth of the matter is that and well again, and there's more normality. Again, most people assume that supernatural things or ghosts or weirdness or whatever. It's very rare and it's almost nowhere and nobody ever experiences it, and they personally have never had to experience anything like that in their life, blah blah blah. And that's again completely not true. If you actually dig and look around and so on, you find that paranormal type stuff is ubiquitous. It's everywhere. And if you know the right questions to ask people, especially about things that they think are dreams or just different kind of experiences, often to do with sleeping or just different states of awareness, that they'll say, well, yeah, I had kind of a weird experience once when this happened, but that was because I was under stress at the time, and you're like, all right, well, what did this happen? Oh yeah, that did happen. Okay, and the questions to ask. It's like anyway, it's like anything. Once you know a lot about a specific subject, it's like a lot about rocks. Then you can bang open a rock and look at the colors inside and the texture, and you're like, oh yeah, I know a lot about this rock. I know where it came from. I know, what it's good for, so on and so on. It's the same thing. It's like with the paranormal and things like that. You learn the patterns. You learn the. But the thing is, it's too much. It's difficult to be convincing if somebody's a skeptic, because it's like trying to educate somebody. It's like like I always say, it's like somebody disbelieving about nuclear physics. It's like, what am I going to do then? Am I going to have to educate them about the electron and all the different subparticles, and then once you understand that, this is how you put it together in a machine. You know what I mean? Explaining the occult to somebody who is actively trying to disbelieve in it is like trying to teach nuclear physics to a student who's actively trying not to learn. You know what I mean? Like, that's a pretty good comparison. It's like, come on. Until you have some kind of grasp of the subject, you can't even really talk about it rationally. I mean, and of course that's the problem right now, is because the current dogma, it's a bit similar to the problem with the electric universe. The problem there is that there's been a dogma that's slowly eroded, that basically there was no plasma in the universe, or there was very little. There was no charged particles out there, basically. And therefore there was no, there's no electricity in space. There's no, this and that. Even though they find magnetic fields everywhere, because of course there is electricity in space. There are vast movements of, just clouds of electrons. Think about it. Electrons are the most common things in the universe. They're literally, everything. There's the nucleus and then a cloud of electrons. So of course, most of the universe is electrons. It's just big clouds of them. So it is an electric universe. Everything is electric. It took a little while for me to sort of wrap my head around that as well. But you know what I mean? That's a real key thing. Just think about that. Every single particle, everything that is solid is made largely of electrons. And of course, all of this energy that's moving around, again, is electrons, is, photons, energy packets. It's pretty much the same thing. So, yeah, you know what I mean? Anyway, so people's views of everything on every level are so skewed. So I feel alienated. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, and a lot of my friends, and I'm sure a lot of people are in a similar boat. Anybody who knows anything feels kind of like, geez. And TV is, I gotta say, TV especially, holy shit, TV is like a moron fest right now. It literally is all reality TV show. There's a TV in a laundromat that I don't have TV, but I've seen some stuff on there, and I'm just flipping through the different channels, and it's all reality TV. Like every channel is mostly made of it. So a lot of them are 100%, but a lot of the other ones, it's like it's filler in those too. It's like, and it's just and I'm not saying reality TV, okay, but saying it's everything. It's like midgets. It's freak shows. It's I don't know. It's literally like there's no filtering anymore. It's just, okay, what is the lowest common denominator, and let's just put it out there. Just shameless. It's again like Cyberpunk. It's, I'll buy that for $1. It's RoboCop. You know what I mean? And it's right on target. This is 2011, and in 2020, bada bing. Anyway, lest I be accused of just, again, going on my usual apocalyptic rant, but that's just, I don't know, that's just what I see happening of interest. Everything else is just life as usual, really, It's like, why bother talking about that? It's just the usual shit that's going on, I'm still eating food, still digesting it, still having to get rid of the nasty aftermath, Still have allergies. They're under control, though. So yeah, anyway, so the problem is, which isn't really a problem, but I've got to go, I've got to commit, I guess a lot of people have a problem with commitment. I'm the same way. I've got to decide that, yes, I want to fully go after this path, and it's role playing, and of course it's role playing. I've realized it's role playing. Everybody role plays without realizing it. And, I've just, I typically have to role play a lot. I have to role play a typical person at a typical job, and it's very hard because it's difficult because I'm a weird person at a typical job, so it takes a lot of energy to do that. Anyway, but at least, I'm advancing slowly. I've got things kind of stabilized. Apartment's feeling pretty nice. So, anyway, all my homies who see this, good luck. I hope you're, most of you are doing extremely well, which I think is awesome. Especially recently, one of my buds, he got a job, I won't say exactly where, but at a high-powered tech company, which we totally thought he was suited for. And he got in. I was pretty sure he would. And, again, I don't know. I have no problem with it. It's the usual problem, man. I have no problem seeing other people's paths or where they should go or what they should do, if they want to get certain outcomes. But for myself, I'm just totally blind. I'm just like, because it's the DM effect. When you're behind the screen, things look totally different from when you're a player. I'll discuss that sometime. The DM player effect. All right. Signing out. Nice to see you all. Later.